formative measurement model of sustainable neighborhood elements for high-rise, low-cost housing in the urban area. Panel of researchers are Dr. Noraziah Wahi, Dr. Adnin Syaza Jaafar, Dr. Asniza Hamimi Abdul Tharim, Sr. Amira Shazlin Adnan, and Sr. Nasyairi Nasir. The notion of sustainable development attracted extensive attention from various parties, such as researchers, governments, and environmental organizations. The motive is strong, that is, the high rate of environmental pollution. Housing challenges in developing countries has arisen due to rapid population growth and urbanization. As a result, government face tremendous pressure to provide housing for the low-income group. In Malaysia, low-cost housing program introduced by the government to ensure continuous supply and adequate low-cost houses for low-income community. The SDGs are made up of 17 goals covering all aspects of sustainability and are an ambitious step towards actionable targets for sustainable development covering all aspects of sustainability and all sectors of society. The movement headed for urbanization has been escorted by augmented stress on the environment and increasing demand for basic needs, facilities, and decent and affordable housing, especially for urban poor. Future cities strive to be sustainable, livable, and resilient to ensure that their citizens are living happily and healthily in an affordable home that is cost-efficient to maintain and is resilient to any future shocks and stresses. Several problems were recognized related to low-cost housing that includes low space of housing unit, shortage of vehicles parking spaces, and high maintenance costs and poor quality of construction and materials in low-cost housing projects. Provision of urban housing, particularly for the lower income group, has become increasingly critical all over the world, including Malaysia. As urbanization expands, rural-urban migration escalates and the proportion of urban poor enlarges. In Malaysia, Low-Cost House is a housing program introduced by the government to ensure continuous supply of adequate number of low-cost houses for the low-income community. Study shows that there were 10 factors of dissatisfaction that were significant among low-cost house owners. The main objective of this innovation is to create a platform for developing an extensive structural model for low-cost housing sustainable elements after reflective measurement model had been completed. Our research methodology includes a structured questionnaire which was used for data collection. Respondents consisted of 510 questionnaires from low-cost house occupants, and the data was analyzed using SPSS version 23 and PLS 3.0. The measurement models contain both reflective and formative indicators. All the constructs were assessed on their internal consistency, reliability, and validity. The formative measurement in this research had undergone two assessments, namely assessment for collinearity issues and assessment of the significance and relevance of the formative indicators. In the assessment of formative measurement model, apparently collinearity problem did not exist in this model. However, one indicator had been deleted and it was gray echo 8 due to IVF more than 5. And subsequently excluded from further analysis for structural model. Conclusively, the measurement model was acceptable based on the empirical evidence. With all the values within acceptable standard limits, the measurement model in this study demonstrates sufficient robustness needed to test the relationship among the exogenous variable and the endogenous variable. Therefore, based on the result, the model is fit to go through next stage of assessment. The next stage was to assess the structural model with the aim to determine the explanatory power of this model. It is the first formative measurement model that have been developed based on the relationship between the problems and the sustainable neighborhood elements for urban high-rise low-cost housing. By studying and utilizing the present research findings such as the developed model, industry practitioners may identify the relevant knowledge gaps to assist them in planning, education, training, and guidelines. This innovation offers valuable insights into operating sustainable neighborhood elements into high-rise, low-cost urban housing, serving as a foundation for future studies. The structural model crafted can be used as a tool for construction practitioners to gauge the level of adherence towards the provision of sustainable elements at their low-cost housing projects. The model can be used by the local authorities as a basis to formulate guidelines for housing construction industry in terms of providing sustainable elements at various types of housing developments. Thank you for your attention.